2022 Autumn Champs, where it was pretty heavily Santy favored. It was a 3-1 set count, and then before then, it was a 3-0 victory at the Brawlhalla World Championships in 2020. He's won the 2 sets. He's won the 2 sets against wubz. wubz isn't looking so good in set count, but is a little bit higher on the PR placement. So I'm curious how this is gonna play out.
These are 2 players that they've been playing the game for a very, very long time. They have crossed paths many times, and whenever that has happened, you know, Santy has come out on top, but there's been a lot of development since. So anything can happen here. Very, very excited to see what's going to be going down. Both of these players taking their sweet time trying to decide which map they are going to be going for. There's obviously a lot of play that can happen with the platforms, especially as both players are on Qatars. When you have a platform, you could be avoiding a lot of these wide side light or dash side lights that a Qatar player can do to have a very wide area to throw out the hitbox and try to catch someone's jumps, or sorry, landings.
Yeah, for sure. So just waiting for them to get started with the match. Everybody, thank you for your patience while we do figure stuff out. They're gonna be jumping into the bands momentarily for the stages. Is this the first time that we're seeing Cannon today? I believe so. Cannon, so aggressive, so high octane, and maybe the best in the meta that I believe it's been ever? Question mark?
No, okay.
Do I not
Dara,
know?
I have a history lesson. There was like a period of time where they tweaked something with Cannon and they like overlooked that it makes another combo better, and there was like a 0 to death with literally 1 read. This was back in like I think 2019, early pandemic, and it was like everyone was on Cannon, dude. It was insane.
I suppose I do not know.
At that time, I was
history.
platinum. At that time, I was platinum. People were doing that stuff in platinum, dude. Across the board, Cannon all around. It was super, super funny. Before that, there was also a Lin Fei meta where everyone was on Lin Fei, but that was way earlier. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, I couldn't help but teach a little bit of a history lesson. Anyone that's more well-educated in the Twitch chat may be able to give a little bit more insight into it. Nevertheless, we are going into this game, and wubz is already looking sharp with these Qatars.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dash jumping on in there right now. Already has Santy off stage. Tries to jump out there with the Sig. Maybe try to clean up an interesting stock, but was not able to find it. Santy hugging the wall. Tries to come back on. Looking for that D-Light. Slightly misspacing, but still nice and safe. Now we have the Qatar Ditto. This is a battle of wits. A battle of patience. And a battle of mashing, my friend. Everybody's neutralizer coming out here. wubz not able to find the follow-up that he wanted. And honestly, besides position, this game is basically even.
Amazing movement made by wubz there to get Santy to dash forward and do an end light to be able to get a safe recovery. Now back into the scramble of a neutral game. Santy using a weapon throw to get some leverage onto wubz here, but he is looking unfazed so far.
Oh yeah, and just barely missing that Nutrilite. wubz was able to find a very slight whiff punish. Comes back on with that GC side Sig. Santy finding a slight little punish for himself as well. Nobody was able to find like a massive follow-up. These are all just neutral hits, neutral hits, neutral hits. I'm gonna punch you in the face, you're gonna punch me in the face, and we're gonna keep on fighting. My friend, this is a competition of slapping each other.
Oof, not anymore. This has turned into a competition of bonking each other as wubz picks up this massive cannon. This can deal a lot of damage very, very quickly. We know it all too well, but Santy is getting very, very close to finding this KO, so this cannon arc could be short-lived.
Oh yeah, now just slowing it down just for a little second there, but Santy's such a good catch on the jump-in with the neutral. wubz is now mixing up his jump-in distances. He's not able to find the opening that he wants, and Santy is keeping him out. He is saying, buddy, you're not getting anything started with that cannon until he does. wubz finally found an opening that he wanted. Santy was unable to avoid it when he needed it most, and now wubz has a very gentle, delicate stock lead.
wubz also able to swap weapons there. Santy, of course, is going to be able to find a KO quite soon, but because wubz was able to swap weapons, his first weapon right now is going to be that cannon, and he's going to be able to build up damage on the early stages of the stock here.
Oh, absolutely. He got that side in. He was about to get something massive off of it as well. Looking for that
He's looking for it. He's looking for it. He's ready, Dara.
Man, is that a worm on a string? because he is fishing. And Santy, not looking like he lives in the water anytime soon. He's just able to knock out that weapon. Now wubz gonna be back on these katanas, and I feel like neither of them have gotten like those big like katana combos.
Yeah, no, this is super, super methodical gameplay, not really wanting to extend any further than you absolutely need to, which so far is working out just a little bit better for Santy. Now swapping over to that sword as well. He's looking for some of these true combos. Is gonna be able to find a D-Light recovery on the platform, which will send wubz crazy high up, but not high up to be able to find a KO just yet.
Oh yeah. Okay, right now Santy just like waiting, dashing all over wubz. Wubz able to come in there with the side in, just backing off, trying to get some sort of a funny little safe ledge trap. Oh, this could be it. And the
that's so
neutral.
unfortunate.
It didn't connect.
Yeah, that's a true combo. Wubz just messed
You saw
that
the
one up.
hitbox. You saw the hitbox.
Yeah, no.
I feel like that should have connected. Or was he a little bit too late with the timing?
Yeah, he was just too late with the timing. He just messed up that timing. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, happens to the best of us. I mean, it literally just did. wubz is like one of the best players. Well, maybe not one of the best, but he's a super, super, super good player. You know, top 0.01%. Happens to everyone, and especially when you want it the least, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Okay, Kata's in hand yet again. Now Santy just trying to fall in with the neutral. wubz chase dodging in to go pick up that weapon. That was very efficient. But you need to clean up this stock sometime soon. Santy has built up an amazing lead, and I love these weapon tosses just to get that extra bit of burst. wubz is now going to be stuck off stage and in the corner, but wubz got a weapon toss of his own to be able to reset neutral.
Nice sidelight coming out from wubz. Is going to be able to connect in there as well. Looking for more of them to be able to anti-air him. He won't even need to. That's going to be the D-Sig taking out Santy. And Dara, all regions across, this is already the longest game we have seen throughout all of the Winter Championship on the side stream. These guys are neck and neck.
Yeah, these guys are neck and neck, and it is just about as even as it possibly could be. Now both of them with the katanas yet again, starting off just like it did in the first stock. Okay, same brain cell. They just collided at the same exact time.
This is definitely a sight to behold. Both of these players, super, super patient, trying to bait out any kind of response from the other opponent to be able to grab this final finishing blow, but both of them are having a very hard time to do so.
Look how patient wubz is. wubz has pressed significantly less buttons than Santy has. Santy has kept on whiffing, and wubz just slowly, perfectly positioning himself. Now, burnt that dodge, looked for a recovery, maybe to be able to catch a jump, but Santy had opted just to land to the ground instead. Went for the side light, slid off with that down light, which would have been able to combo into a recovery. Now wubz just looking for that sider, looking to push Santy off stage here, and popping out that N-Sig, but again, doesn't find the follow-up.
Not able to find the KO. Both of the players just trying their absolute hardest right now, but nothing is working, Dara. 1 minute and 42 seconds on the clock. Could this be one of the only tiebreakers in tournament history? I feel like that's pushing it, but there's a possibility, Dara.
Look at their neutral, look at their patience, and Santy went in there with the downlight, just barely whiffed, and it turns out that wubz's patience overall ended up paying off. There was definitely a difference between the two at the end. Santy was the one that was swinging first. Santy was the one that was initiating a lot of the interactions, and wubz was figuring out, how do I move around this, how do I avoid this, and how can I maybe, just maybe, find that one punish that I need. And you know what? By God, he found it, Paulie. He got it.
He did absolutely find it. We are going to be going straight into the next game, and just look at that game development graph as well. They were super, super like aligned with each other.
Oh yeah. These are guys that have definitely fought each other a couple of times. They were close in PR. They were playing the Qatar Ditto for like a really good chunk of it.
Yeah.
But now wubz just able to deny the weapon and get a weapon toss as well, going out there off stage, but then opts to go for the recovery. Oh man. Oh buddy. What's happening?
You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of, Dara?
Talk to me. What does it remind you of?
So, theoretically, if you were able to play chess against yourself, it would just end in an endless amount of draws, right? I feel like that's what's happening here. These guys are playing so similarly that everything that they are doing either like amounts to a 50-50, you know, a neutral outcome, a net zero outcome, or just nothing.
I have a question. Have we seen Santy and wubz in like the same place at the same time? I would actually like an IP check. I want to check the IP addresses, and it's just like the same exact place. Oh jeez.
You know, that is possible. That is possible. It's one guy. He's playing the game with his feet on the floor and a controller in his hands.
Oh yeah, but it does seem like Santy is going to be able to take a stock against himself. Finally, getting a pretty big lead, and Santy just continuing to apply the pressure. wubz off stage with no weapon, chase dodging in there, and being nice and patient, knowing, hey, he has no gentle way of getting that weapon pickup either. These have been so Santy favored. wubz has been starved of a weapon for so long. Please, give him something, anything.
Please give him something. Entire stock down. He will be able to find that side signature. I feel like that was an early KO. By the time he hit that unarmed side light, Santy was only orange, and he's going to be able to get that stock off either way. Santy probably scratching his head a little bit over that one, being a little bit disappointed perhaps, but he is still in such a good position. You shouldn't even have to think about it now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that spacing out that downlight, beautiful stuff. Jumping off stage and then dodging back on here. Santy, good juggling, good patience. wubz out of jumps, but then that last second dodge, of course, helped him get back onto the ground. And wubz went out there with the double recovery. So aggressive. wubz keeps on dodging to the side. He keeps on dodging to the side. I want to see Santy exploit that. I want to see him go for like a big read, maybe like a sider instead of like a neutral or a recovery.
wubz doing such a good job at evening out this game so far, and now he's back onto those Katars. Great weapon throw to bait out Santy's movement, able to get an end light out of it. It's not going to amount to much, but you're getting Santy just a little bit more scared. Santy wants to get to this edge guard, but he's not committing to it hard enough, and wubz will be able to get back on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, the wubz tossing out that weapon. That might have been a little bit too risky, but then luckily, Santy pushed in too far to the right and allowed wubz to pick up that cannon, who also ends up tossing it out again. Santy just able to swat him back off stage, able to pick up that stock, and is only in the orange at this point in time.
Only orange at this point in time, indeed. The D-Light recovery coming out, though. He's extending this lead, Dara. He's showing no signs of stopping right now. Oh,
yeah. He's not slowing down. He's going full octane. He is making sure to secure this lead as much as possible. He sends wubz off stage yet again. He gets that down. He doesn't go out there for like a finishing ground pound, but hey, you don't gotta commit. You got this massive lead. You're chilling. But wubz, phenomenal follow-up. Good stuff.
He is very, very damaged, though. Even an unarmed true combo is going to be able to knock him out at this point. And Santy has that sword in hand. He's looking for that D-Light Sair off this left side or the Dare off stage. And he's going to be able to get this KO very, very soon if he does.
Oh yeah, wubz is being as patient as he possibly could off stage. But that can also give Santy ample time to go out there for the ground pound. And then makes a mad dash to the weapon. Gets a little bit too greedy to pick something up and then ends up eating a recovery for it. So beautiful stuff from Santy, able to get that game too. And this was a lot less of a close game than in game one, right? Even though it was like the same stock count at the end, Santy was the one that was consistently ahead and consistently had wubz playing from a back foot, both in position and in damage and in stocks. So going into game number 3, I'm trying to figure out like what was a really big difference that set apart the two, and nothing is coming to mind quite yet.
I feel like wubz is looking super, super comfortable.
Let it hang it out, Polly. That's the best way to kind of put this. Santy able to get a couple of hits, though, and he is just able to convert it so far. I feel like that is what's kind of separating Santy above wubz right now, right? It is the fact that Santy is getting that much more mileage per hit.
Indeed, and Santy now on this boat, trying to have as much space between him and wubz as possible. And again, wubz throwing away that cannon, trying to get to those Katars as quickly as possible, Dar.
Oh yeah, we're leaving the medieval ages. We have no room for cannons anymore, buddy. But now wubz gonna be on those Katars, just trying to get in, trying to find that opening, and not able to do it as Santy just keeps on forcing him with his position. But then wubz with the reversal off stage. Oh my god.
wubz! Now that is what we like to see, some high octane gameplay. Whenever wubz sees an opportunity, he will seize it.
Oh my gosh, without a doubt, my friend. That was so clean. That was so good. And now all of a sudden, the game count, the stock count is completely even. This is as even as it possibly could be. Cannon on hand though. wubz slowing down the pace of the match just for a second. Gets that dash jump neutral, excuse me, but didn't find a follow-up off of it.
Completely evened out now, and I am looking at this cannon coming out from wubz completely differently as I was from the first 2 games. And so is Santy. You see Santy, he has a lot more respect for this cannon. He wants even more space now, because he knows that whenever wubz sees something, that could be you flying, dude.
Oh yeah. Okay, though, nice little chase dodge in just to be able to continue pressuring and forcing wubz off stage. Coming back in with that down air. This is so even, and Santy makes it back on. wubz giving up a lot of space just in case Santy had come in with a sideline.
Weapon throw coming out, but Santy will be able to dodge through it. Doesn't even matter. wubz is gonna get those Katars that he loves so much immediately after. He's trying to find this KO by now, throwing out a couple of signatures, and that last couple of frames on that end light, it will be connected with wubz. He's gonna be able to find the KO regardless.
Yeah, now he has a pretty good lead for himself. He's got those Katars back on hand. He dodges in there and just trying to occupy that space wherever Santy wanted to grab that weapon.
Okay!
Goes all the way to the top. Oh, my God, Polly. Oh, my goodness.
This is what I'm saying. If wubz, if you give a wubz a opportunity to shine, like give him an inch, he'll take a mile, Dara. Santy needs to be careful. He needs to find out how to reverse situations like that, or not even reverse. He needs to get out of those sticky situations. It doesn't matter too much for him. He is going to be able to find the KO relatively quickly, but Jesus, he took a lot of damage there.
Oh my God, and he just wants to keep up going. Santy trying to do the same thing. They're trying to take wubz all the way off the top. Listen, you give him a slice of bread, and then all of a sudden he's taking the whole loaf right about now. But now, both of them slowing the pace down just a touch. wubz, though, just no stage control right now to be able to get back on, and what a whiff punish from Santy.
And Light coming out, throwing him off stage. D-Sig to defeat the weapon spawn. To do something. It was definitely useful. We don't really know for what yet, but wubz is going to be able to find the final KO, and there it is. This is as back and forth as a set gets. Actually,
oh, yeah.
Scratch that. Yesterday, the one we had in South America was more back and forth because all of the games were 3 stocks. This is like the neck and neck version of a back and forth.
Oh yeah. So now he is up 2-1 against Santy, and I believe this is actually like pretty contrary to like what we've had in the past, right? Because in the past it was actually Santy that took 2 of the sets that the 2 of them have played against each other. This is the second game that wubz has ever taken off of Santy, and wubz was looking super clean that game. Something like switched, something clicked for wubz. He started getting so aggressive, especially off the top, man.
Keep in mind, wubz has never beaten Santy in an official tournament. So, like, at this point, potentially even getting a little bit of nerves here, as he, of course, wants to progress further into the bracket. And he's already going crazy on this unarmed. You're completely right, Dara. He is seeing something. We don't really know what it is, but this is a changed man.
This is a changed man who's getting a lot of hits in, and they just have these stare downs. It's like they fight, and then they just take a second to look at each other like dogs, my friend. And now wubz just trying to space himself out. This situation keeps on happening where wubz does not have stage control. He's always playing out of the corner, off stage, and honestly, he doesn't look too uncomfortable.
So the reason actually why they're having these stare downs is that we are right now seeing an anime fight, and that's where the really cool dialogue goes in, but we actually had to mute that so that we would be able to cast over it. So apologies if you were hoping to hear some Japanese dialogue. Nevertheless, wubz is gonna be able to come out on top of this stock as well, and it's starting to look like the wubz dream is alive, Dara.
The wub stream is alive. The chat is also coming alive. Everybody is popping off really boy right now. And now wubz looking for that next jump and looking for this downlight as well. Using the weapon toss. Really nice dodge though, right? Just able to stop Santy's approach and then get him off of him and then also pick up a cannon to boot.
And light off of the left side, trying to keep space here in between him and Santy. Santy running away to the other side. The side sig, it's such a good signature, because if you are cornered and you use that side signature, you're either going to be hitting it and you're going to be getting a massive knockback at your opponent, or you have just like repositioned yourself so quickly. Like, I'm not sure if anyone has the stats on this, but I feel like that's probably one of the fastest moving signatures in the game.
Oh yeah. Just, it surprises you, catches you off guard, and then you're like, oh wow, that was my stock that was taken. I just gotta hold that. But now wubz getting the neutral and then backs off a little bit, just saying, hey buddy, recover onto the stage. See what happens. I have another hit for you waiting. wubz is just occupying the air. Santy keeps coming back down, landing, and then wubz keeps just falling on top of him. Oh my goodness.
Able to get that signature, now swapping, actually not swapping over to the cannon, sticking to these Qatars. Full stock lead, and I mean, I said before the wubz dream is alive, it's looking like the wubz prophecy is coming into fruition. He's trying to guard the ground here, trying to pressure Santy. Santy will be able to get past him and get a sword in hand though.
Oh, and wubz coming in with the neutral. I'm surprised that did not end up connecting. Maybe he pressed it a little bit too soon. And now Santy just trying to control the ground, make it as difficult as possible for wubz to land. wubz's movement is looking so tight this game.
Looking super tight indeed, but Santy is starting to pop off here. He has started to deal a ton of damage onto wubz, winning a lot of these neutral interactions. Sarah off the right side. This could be a knockout if wubz is not careful.
Oh yeah, dodging back in here, at least he got back onto the stage, but now he has no weapon. He has to somehow close space against Sword, and then Santy went for the jump read. wubz was able to get under him and pick up Qatars, and now he's just looking for this next in. He's looking for this next opening.
Santy needs to get this stock off of him right now if he wants any kind of chance at reversing this right now. Waiting for those exclamation marks to show themselves. He doesn't need to go out there.
Oh my God.
With a big combo. Jesus Christ, my heart skipped. Probably every wubz supporter's heart skipped as well, as I knew that could have been it.
Dude, that GC option was sick. That was, Santy was just not expecting wubz to still be able to slide back onto the stage, somehow missing the down air. The down air did not connect, but it does not matter. Santy still keeping afloat, still keeping alive. This could be potentially Santy's last game, or he could take this to a game 5 against wubz. But he has taken so much damage, but he is not stopping Polly. He's putting his all into this.
He's for sure able to get that end light to create
That's
some
it.
space. wubz with the signature though! And after one of the most grueling sets I have seen with long and intense neutral, he is going to be able to come out on top. wubz has broken the curse, Dara. The wubz prophecy is true.
The wubz prophecy is true. He was able to make it happen. This is the first time that wubz has won a set against Santy. So defying the odds, historically speaking. I just feel like wubz played super well that game. I think his movement was excellent. I love the way that he played out of the corner, especially off stage. And then it just seemed like at some point, especially during the last